Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, and I know a lot of you guys are just sitting and watching and not hitting the like button, so please hit that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you want to get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out that Patreon link down below in the description. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Google, stock it's up 0.97%, and Google came all the way down to 138.50 today. And if you look at my screen, lower Bollinger Band sitting at 138, we got a strong bounce off of that level and now trading above 140. And let me tell you guys one thing, do not count Google out yet. This thing can go up all the way up to this gap, 152.78. Yes, yesterday we got this big bearish engulfing candle. The trend is down with some high volume selling yesterday. That does not mean that Google will just crash and go down even more. We can definitely see a big bounce in next 3 to 4 weeks. Now here on Google, guys, 140 holding. That's gonna be a support to watch going into tomorrow's session. And below that, 138, 135. Above 140. Watch out for the resistance right here at 142.66. Blue line 5-day moving average, and then 143.82. Red line 50-day moving average, and then this gap just under 145. Now Google can clear 145 and can stay above 145, then watch out for a big move all the way up to this gap 148.56, and then we can talk about this gap on top. Until then, watch the support 140, 138, and then 135 on Google. On Apple stock, it's up 0.81%, and finally we got some catalyst on Apple Car, and that is why this thing is up today all the way up to almost 184, and then came down and now trading at 182.63. Now every day in the morning, and I did show you guys my levels before that I put out before opening to play those stocks. And Apple I did put out yesterday and today. And even live this morning, I said Apple gets down to 179, that's gonna be a dip buy. Now a lot of you guys actually bought the dip, which I'm really actually happy about that, because finally you're trading the stock that you should be trading. And Apple is always my #1 pick in the stock market. I do not care about Nvidia, Meta, and all that, other stocks. Yes, they could be running even higher, but Apple is always #1 pick for me here in the stock market. And why? Because this is the stock that is actually the safest stock on earth to trade, and you're not going to lose a lot of money. Also, you don't need a lot of money to trade Apple stock, especially if you're trading options. Now, some people got calls today, right down here, just under 180, 185. Guess what? They made a ton of money. This thing went back up, and I was done early in the morning, so I did not play Apple today. A lot of you guys did, and kudos to you. You made some money on Apple. So going into tomorrow's session, guys, here on Apple, yes, we got some good catalyst. We just need that breakout over 183. Soon as that happens, this downtrend will break on Apple, and Apple can run all the way up to 185.29, 20-day moving average, and then this gap 186.79 up to even 188. Below 183, you want to watch this critical support right down here, and that is 180 on Apple. Now Apple gives up 180, then you're going to see some more downside all the way down to 177 and then 173. And here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow, and there is no subscription, nothing you gotta go through. It's totally free right here on X. And here's some fantastic plays from today, guys. Look at this one. Zoom shorting at 69, getting 65 puts for this Friday. It was only 36 cents. Ran up to not only 90 cents after selling, ran all the way up to $1.35. So that was a massive trade on Zoom. And then, look at this insane move right here. MSTR. This thing was up like 80, 90 bucks. Got in early in the morning, 9:39 a.m. Just one put. And I actually paid $1,000 for that put. And guess what? Look at this. Not too long, just 2-3 minutes later, that thing dumped like $20. Immediately, that put from 1,000 got up to $2,400. But of course, there was a spread on MSTR, so you cannot sell it for 24. I actually sold it for 2 grand, and that is 100% on MSTR. So all these plays are available on Patreon, and especially if you guys want to support the channel, check out the link down below in the description for Patreon, guys. And once you join, you do get 10% off for annual membership, and if you join monthly, you do get live trading if you go for that premium plus tier. On Amazon, stock is down 0.68%, and Amazon now holding above 173. And also, if you look at my screen, rising 5-day moving average, this blue line setting also at 173. So that's gonna be a strong support to watch going into tomorrow's session. And if that gives up, you're going to see a drop on Amazon all the way down to 170.23 to close this gap. And below that, we also have another strong support, and I was holding for multiple days, and that is 167. Now, as long as Amazon can stay right here at 173, then watch out for a move all the way up to 180 on Amazon. On Meta, it's up 1%, and now it's trading below 490. And also, we got a strong bounce. We got a pullback today down to 5-day moving average, which is sitting at 481.40, came down to 479.92. And immediately, early in the morning, I was actually watching this, and this thing got a massive bounce, and now trading just under 490. So here on Meta, guys, we could see that range breakout over 490. And soon as that happens, immediately you're going to see 500 on Meta, and then possibly this thing can run all the way up to 520. And like I said, don't forget about that buyback here on Meta, and that can take an effect soon as this thing actually breaks above 490. Now on a pullback, you want to watch now right down here, support 481.40, and just below that we also have support at 475, 13-day moving average, and then this gap just under 470. On Microsoft, absolutely flat on the day, and Microsoft came all the way down to 403.85, but not closing this gap down here at 402.29, went back up and now holding 407 as a support into closing 5-day moving average right here on this daily chart. So here on Microsoft, 407, that's going to be support to watch, and below that, watch out for this gap at 402.29, and then we also have support at 400. Now above 407, watch out for the resistance at 410, and then all the way up to 413, 415, and then possibly even 418.85 to 420. On Tesla stock, it's up 0.17%, so kind of a flat day on Tesla, and Tesla was up pre-market almost 3%. Now, what I said last night, guys, what I see in my chart, that is exactly what I tell you guys in my video. Nothing extra, nothing less. I said it last night, and you can go back and watch my video carefully, what I said on Tesla, that this Bollinger Band needs to expand. Even when I was actually trading live yesterday and today, I said the same thing, that this Bollinger Band will not allow Tesla to move higher. And I said the same thing last night. Guess what happened? Got up to almost 206 and a rejection, not even closing this gap completely, and then came back all the way down to 198 and now closing around 200. So going into tomorrow's session here on Tesla, it needs to get over 200, it needs to hold 200, and this Bollinger Band on top needs to expand even more, and then we could see a move all the way up to this gap, 206.77 on Tesla, and possibly up to 212, and then 215.57 up to this 50-day moving average, this red line on this daily chart. Now to the downside, below 200, watch out for the support right here, rising blue line 5-day moving average, 196.66, 194, and then white line 20-day moving average, 191.54. Now let me give you guys a piece of advice, and that is actually for new traders and investors in this market. They go and buy Tesla. Guess what? Tesla goes down. Let's say they got it right here, or 206. Tesla goes down to 175. They're all stressed out. Like I gotta sell it, when Tesla will come back up. I get that question all the time. Trust me when I say this. When you buy something like Tesla, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, it's always going to come back up. It might take a little bit of time, but it's going to come back. And if you have the patience, it's going to pay you. But if you just rush on everything, you're not going to make any money. As a matter of fact, whatever money you got, you're going to lose money in that process and the way you're rushing it, because we cannot move the stock market. You cannot move it. I cannot move it. We don't have that power. But we know that things will move. Now it's on a downtrend. It's selling off. It's not going up. But guess what? Things will change. And this is actually a nice dip buying opportunity on Tesla. And I did call it before so many times that all the other big names are up except this one. So Tesla, another name, you cannot count this name out. Tesla can easily go up again. We can see 300, but right now it's on a downtrend. And in the short term, Tesla can easily go up to 220 to even 230, up to these gaps right here on top. That is possible. So, if you're buying Tesla and, next day or the day after you want profit, well, that's just not how things work. You got to wait. Tesla, it's not a penny stock you bought. You have to wait, and it's going to come back up. It's going to actually pay you. But if you just rush things, it's not going to happen, guys. And I hope that helps, especially, new people that are watching my videos. So Netflix going up whopping 2.39%, and I did call it before that Netflix can go up to 600, and we got that today, guys. We went over 600, 605.36. It was getting far too overextended to the upside, came back, and now trading above 600. So that is gonna be the support to watch going into tomorrow's session on Netflix. Below that, we got this gap, 590.79. We also have support at 588, and then we can talk about this gap down here, 575.78. And you can see, this thing so far, gap up and go. This gap, and then this gap. Now again here, massive gap up, and now 3 gap up here on Netflix, and this thing just continuing to run even higher. So now above 600, what's the next stop? 618 on Netflix. On AMD, it's up 1.13%, and we talked about it last night. If there is a drop down to this 20-day moving average, that's going to be a dip buy on AMD as long as the support can hold. And look at this dip buying and then getting a hammer candle on this daily chart today, and now it's up to 178. The next stop, 180, and soon as 180 breaks, you're going to see a move all the way back up to 184. Now AMD here, you can see right on my screen, trading inside this box. And if you look at weekly chart, that is actually a bull flag. So are we going to see a breakout to the upside? Well, possible. This thing breaks above this all-time high right here, just above 184, you're going to see explosion all the way up to 195. Now for that, this Bollinger Band on top needs to expand even higher. We need some catalyst, and so far nothing happening. Just whole bunch of chop trading inside this box and inside this range right here. So watch out. A breakout to the upside will take AMD all the way up to 195, and also a breakdown below this previous all-time highs 164. It's going to bring AMD all the way down to 148.75 to close this gap down here. So going into tomorrow's session, you need to watch 173 as a support, and just below that, this gap 164.90. To the upside, the next stop 180 and then 184. On Nvidia, stock is down 0.5%, so nothing big, and again, dip buyers doing a great job buying up the dip. And look at this, guys. I was watching this, even called it live in my Discord that, let's just get some Nvidia calls, and then I said, no, it's just too expensive, I'm not getting it. And I was at 773 when I called it, and this thing bounced from there all the way up to 794.80. And I think those calls, they were going for 500. At the end, it was trading for, I think, 700 or 800, but I didn't play it. This thing was too expensive, especially for only option that you can hold 2-3 days. So here on Nvidia, guys, now on a pullback, definitely This is going to be a level to watch at around 780 to 782, and just below that, look at this rising 5-day moving average, 765. That's going to be support, and then a critical support which is sitting at 745. To the upside, again, Nvidia needs to get above 800, and soon as that happens, you're going to see a move up to 815, and this is how much this Bollinger Band actually got up to right here, 815.18. So this Bollinger Band already expanding up to 815.18. So that is going to be the next stop above 800, and then possibly can come up and retest this high at 823.94. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into tomorrow's session.